Good morning and welcome to the announcements. I do this because, I don't know, it seems like it's something that I should do. It's air quotes. The announcements coming to you not live from
Fayetteville,
Arkansas. This is my bestie, my good friend, Dr. Julie Williams. And we're going to get to this in a minute. I'm going to have her explain a little bit about herself and tell us a little bit about her background. But first, I'm going to tell you a few things. Today, September 23rd, 2024, some upcoming events. Joanna Brockwell, happy birthday, Joanna. Joanna is a co-principal of mine from Springfield.
Oh, cool.
She is, I don't know if you guys use this term in Arkansas, but she is the bomb diggity.
That's what all the kids say.
That is what the kids say these days. They say that, when somebody's really good or awesome, they're the bomb diggity.
That's what all the kids say.
That's what all the kids say. In fact, I hear them saying that about you a lot too. Yeah,
I've heard them say that about you a few times.
She is
myself.
the bomb diggity. And my friend Julie here is going to Chicago. That's an upcoming event. I felt it was important because her husband's working in Chicago right now. He's on a business trip, and she's going to go visit. And what are some things you like to do when you're in Chicago?
Well, normally I like to walk downtown across the bridge and go shopping a little bit at Nordstrom. And I like to eat. There's so many places to eat.
Like Chick-fil-A?
No.
No.
Chick-fil-A I can eat here.
Oh, you're one of those people who likes to go to places you can't go to at home.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
I've heard of those people.
There is a fabulous place up there, and it escapes me what the name of it is, but they have hot dogs and hamburgers, and it's like an open court.
Is it Wrigley Field?
No.
Is that the one that's in Chicago, Wrigley Field?
Wrigley Field is in Chicago, but
They have hot dogs and hamburgers.
Yeah, they do, but I've been booed right out of Wrigley Field before.
Because you were wearing a Cardinals jersey?
I was.
Yeah.
I was.
Well, I hope you have fun in Chicago.
I'm very excited.
I've been there once. It's great.
I go there a lot. I go like 3 times a year.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to go have lunch and dinner with my husband.
Yes, okay.
And then I'm flying back because I have responsibilities to the students at Fayetteville Public Schools.
And we need to give a shout out to your husband.
We do.
The Honorable Ray Williams.
He is. He's the love of my life, and he's an amazing attorney.
He's the love of my life as well.
Yeah.
So there we go, Ray.
Okay, there you go.
All right, joke of the day. Now, I'm going to tell you this joke,
Okay.
and then I'm going to have you guess where I heard it from.
Okay.
What do you call a guy hanging on the side of a mountain?
What do you call a guy hanging on the side of a mountain?
Cliff. Now guess where I heard that joke.
Cliff Smart.
It was about Cliff Smart, but he's not the one who told the joke.
I think your son told you.
No,
Glory me.
your boss. John Mulford. Dr. John Mulford was introducing Cliff Smart, and this is the way he introduced him with that joke.
That's
And
funny.
to this day, I remember that joke because it's funny.
Yeah, that's real funny.
And I don't know if you know Dr. John Mulford, but he's funnier than I imagined.
He is funnier than anybody could imagine.
Yeah,
He's the superintendent at Fayetteville Public Schools, and we all love him.
We will definitely have to tag him in this.
Let's do it.
Because he is the bomb diggity.
He is the bomb diggity. That's what all the kids say.
That's what all the kids say about Dr. John Mulford.
Yeah.
Is he's bomb diggity. Okay, weird fact. Supermarket apples can be up to a year old. Farmers often pick apples in the fall, cover them in wax, hot air dry them, and then put them in cold storage. This keeps them edible and ready to sell for 6 to 12 months. That sounds a little gross. I'm not gonna lie, but I do love apples, so I'm gonna overlook it.
I do love apples as well, but you really want to wash one pretty good.
You want to wash that. You want to wash that hot air dried wax right off of it.
I think that's correct.
Right. Okay, so now is the part of the show where you give us a little bit of your background, like where you came from, how you came to be in Fayetteville, Arkansas,
Okay.
maybe how we know each other, because
Okay.
everybody I have on the show knows me somehow. I don't just pick random strangers. And then we talk about your Mount Rushmore. So let's start off with a just a 60-second-ish
Okay.
biography.
Okay. Well, I worked in Missouri as a public school teacher and administrator for 33 years. And during that time, I actually worked with you for, 9 years?
A lot of years.
9
A lot
years?
of years, yes.
He was a principal and I was the assistant superintendent there, and it was
Yeah.
great. It was great working with him. He's one of the best principals
We
I've
have
ever
some
worked
synergy.
with.
We have some synergy.
We do have synergy.
Yeah.
We kind of bounce off each other. And so after retiring from Missouri after all those years, there was an opportunity to double dip basically on retirement.
Double dip.
Double dip. And so I applied and I was interviewed by a panel in Fayetteville, Arkansas, which if you haven't been here, it's the promised land.
It is, it's nice.
And I was blessed to be hired, and the last 2 years have been some of the best years of my 35-year educational career. Yeah.
You know how I know Fayetteville is the promised land?
No, how?
Multiple Chick-fil-A's. Multiple.
Well, everybody knows it's either Wendy's or Chick-fil-A if you're going to hang out with Dr. O.
Actually, you know, I have a new one. I eat at a place called Culver's.
You do? What do you mean at Culver's?
That's my burger place.
Oh,
And Chick-fil-A is my chicken place.
ketchup only.
Yep.
And fries.
Yep.
Lots of ketchup.
And
So much ketchup.
In Culver's, you could get a ice cream with your meal.
Well, there you go.
And I like ice cream.
Nothing better than vanilla
I like
ice cream and ketchup.
That's how you keep this girlish figure, by filling it up with ice cream. Okay, so that's a little bit about Dr. J. And okay, Mount Rushmore. 4 people, 1 edu hero,
Okay.
1 mentor,
Okay.
a colleague, and a non-educator. It doesn't have to be in that order. Do whatever order you want.
Okay. So my Mount Rushmore would begin with my grandma Cowan, who has been deceased for a number of years. She adopted my mother when she was 40 years old, and she actually was that caring adult in my life that catapulted me into education, because from the time I was a little girl, I was her only granddaughter. She would tell me how important it was to get an education, and everybody needs a very important adult in their life. My colleague would be Holly Reese. Holly Reese is the superintendent of Alton Public Schools in Alton, Missouri. She and I have known each other since she was born. We've had the beauty of working together for a number of years, first side by side as teachers and then as administrators. My mentor would probably be Dr. Fred Zerwanka. I was a public school teacher, and I had his child when she was in 3rd grade, but then I had the opportunity to work for him as a teacher in West Plains, Missouri. And while there, he would encourage people to follow their dreams and to become the best they could be. And he is the reason I continued to doctoral school and decided to basically become the best I could be by going into central administration and to share my talents with other people, and not only that, to learn from other people. So he is probably one of my greatest educational mentors. And then one non-educator would be my honey, Sweet Sugar Ray Williams. I love him. He is one of the smartest human, next to my son James. He's probably the most intelligent man I've ever known, and he's the kindest, and he's okay. And then but my husband is a kind and deep and earnest human being, and I love him to the end of the world.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. And I love those people you listed.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you a quote, and I just want to, well, let me do the quote first, and then we'll come back to that.
Okay.
Okay, quote of the day. As a leader, you have an incredible opportunity to change someone's life every single day. Leadership is never about tearing people down. It's all about helping people become the best version of themselves. And that came from Leadership First. I don't know where I found that. I have a whole file of quotes.
I agree with
People know
that,
I like quotes.
100%.
I do too. And it kind of goes along with the whole thing about empowerment. And you talked a little bit about Fred Zerwanka and how he, I mean, you didn't use the word, but basically he empowered you
Completely empowered me.
to be the most you could be. I mean, I always talk about Fred as someone who believed in me more than I believed in myself at the time.
Yes.
And I would also, when I do my Mount Rushmore, I can't do just one Mount Rushmore because I pick you as a mentor for me, because when we worked together, you did the same thing for me that Fred did for you. And Fred did it as well. I mean, I was blessed to work in West Plains with Fred and John and Julie, and all 3 of them very much empowered people, empowered me.
Bit of a dream team.
It was. And there were other, I mean, Seth was there, Scott was there. We had lots of people who were there.
Yeah.
And almost all of those people went on to be superintendents, principals. I mean, it was just kind of a leadership factory.
It
almost.
was
And
absolutely.
I think that's all because of empowerment and people believing, like I said,
I agree with
Fred,
that.
just develop my leadership. So I have a few notes about empowerment, and that's one of the reasons I picked this topic, because Dr. Williams is so much of an empowerer. Is that a word? Empowerer.
I love that word, and I think we will add that word if it's not a word. It's very good.
When you become a doctor, when you have doctor in front of your name, you can make up words.
That's what I heard.
Yes. I mean, I may have made up Bomb Diggity. I don't know. I think the kids say it.
I don't know. The kids all say that.
Yes. But empowerer. You are an empowerer. So empowerment. The definition of empowerment from the Google is the process of becoming stronger and more confident, and the process of giving teachers the authority to be involved in decision-making processes of their schools and to take the action based on those decisions. And so I think about, as a leader, how often you have the opportunity to do that for people and to develop their leadership skills. And so, I don't know.
I love that very much, and I have ever since I was mentored in that way by Dr. Zerwanka, and in many ways by Dr. Mulford, who has they both have the best calm demeanor, and I'm a little wild, as everybody knows. And I think drawing from each other's strengths in that way allows you to, we don't want to be cookie cutter from each other. We want to empower every person to use their talents and intrinsically bring what they bring to the table and to be the best version of themselves. I completely believe that to the end of the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was in a meeting this last week. We talked about, if you give people a job to do and they don't do it exactly the way that you want them to do it, that's okay. You've empowered them.
Sometimes
to,
good.
Yeah, and yeah, it could work out even better than what you'd imagine. So that's a good thing. So what does it look like? Teachers who feel empowered are more satisfied with their jobs. Empowered teachers are more motivated and have better problem-solving skills. Mm-hmm. And empowered teachers have the resources and freedom to personalize their teaching to meet the needs of each student. That's what it looks like. I mean, and I've always tried to do that. I know Dr. Williams has always tried to do that. How do you do it? Have you ever heard of the words autonomy, mastery, and purpose?
So much.
In the education community, as a leader, I think it's important to give teachers autonomy
100%.
to help them master their content and to help develop a purpose, give a common vision for your school to go and give for your teachers. So that's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of where I'm at with empowerment. You have anything to add?
Yeah, I love it. So having been in curriculum for so many years before I came over to the operational side, I will say that sometimes people are confused. They think having aligned curriculum means that you're scripted in some way, but no, having aligned curriculum, it means that every child has the opportunity to learn from the same type of content, but the autonomy of people's talents and how they bring that to the classroom has to be allowed rather than scripting it. And I agree with you 100%.
I wish every school had a Julie Williams, because that's how it's supposed to work, and that's how I try to work it. I mean, that's the artistry of teaching.
Correct.
Giving people the freedom, the autonomy to do that, and giving them the mastery of helping them learn how to be better at doing that. And that's what we should be doing as leaders. So
I think so.
All right. Hey, at the end of the announcements, I always try to end with this send-off. And so I did these announcements when I was a principal, and I always ended mine with, we love you, we believe in you, we know you can be successful. Aww. That was for our kids. And so I tried to come up with something different, and it doesn't roll off the tongue as well. I'm still working on it. But you have value, you have impact, and what you're doing matters. Do you have anything else?
Great. I'm just so pleased that I got to appear with you today, and it's usually not very many times in your life you get to meet and work with people that bring great joy to your heart. And I will say that Brad has brought great joy to my heart for many number of years, because we kind of have the same philosophy about loving students, loving teachers, and allowing them to become the best they can be. So
absolutely,
it's been a pleasure.
Right. Have a great week.